What is good, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Dugouts, and we have something to celebrate. We've scored a goal. We've scored a goal. I don't know what it felt like to celebrate a goal, and it was beautiful. We kept a clean sheet, and not only that, we are through to the final. We are through to the FA Cup final. We will be taking on Man City, but that is a story for another day. Right now, we're talking about Chelsea 1, Leeds 0, and going into this game, probably like most of you, I had no confidence, right? We are probably in the nightmarish form that we were in way back when we had Potter as manager. That's how dark it was getting. We've sacked the manager, Callum taken the reins, and we saw a very different display against Leeds yesterday. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it was dogged. It was resilient. And we managed to get over the line. And that is the main thing. That is the most important thing. And what looked to be one of the worst seasons we've been in recently, we've managed to get over the line, get to another final, and give ourselves a slither. A slither, there's that hope coming into me, a slither of hope that we could still end this season with a trophy. Because going into any cup, any tournament, I back us. I back us in that one-off game. You know, we've had City in cup finals before. You know, we've done the business. So going into the final, of course, air of optimism, air of, shitting myself a little bit, but I'm more confident going in to a one-off game than doing it over an entire season. And yesterday, you can clearly see how much the having Liam in charge was affecting the players, and you can sit there and go, it shouldn't affect them that much to the point where they completely down tools. But sometimes it happens. We're not the only club that this has happened to. Right, this has happened to many clubs. You know, any United fans in there, you would know. Look at your players, how they were under Amarin. The moment he's left, look what they're doing now. You know, there is countless pieces of evidence that sometimes, if it ain't working, it ain't working. So it's changed. And like I said, Callum, bless him, not got barely any coaching badges, but he'd done the business, right? He got us in to the final. He set us up similar to how Maresca was. I mean, I saw Gusto inverting, who, you know, we are going to get later into this video, player rankings. I'm going to rank every single player in this match, bar Liam Delap. He was on for like a couple of minutes. So I'm not going to waste my time with that one. But there was a different edge to us. I thought first half, where we got the goal, we looked good. We looked good in large amounts of that game. We were in control. Leeds didn't really create anything in the first half. The second half, we did let it slip a little bit. We did allow them back into the game. We did allow to soak up pressure. But what we showed that we haven't showed for a very long time is we were solid. The defence, I have to admit, especially going back to Sanchez as well, who I've criticised quite heavily recently, he had a good game. I thought the defence as a unit played pretty well. Now, it's not to say that performance was perfect. Of course, it wasn't. But it got the job done. And that is the main thing. And we can talk about going in to another cup final. But we are going to move relatively quickly into the player rankings. Right, starting off with Sanchez, our goalkeeper, who I'd have to say arguably was close to being my man of the match, right? Giving him a 7.5 in this game. He pulled off some really good saves. He didn't really make any mistakes from that I can remember in this game, and at least anything that caused some serious danger on the goal. He had a solid game. And, you know, fair play to him. He was just pipped to it by another player for me. But I think a solid 7.5 was decent for Sanchez. Moving into Malo Gusto, I thought this was one of his better games for quite a while. Still not the levels I want to see, but an improvement. I thought he provided so much energy down that right-hand side. He was aggressive. He was getting stuck into challenges. And when he needed to, he got involved into attack. It's just adding the extra quality into the attack that he just needs to improve on. Better crossing, a bit more wiser with his decisions, but that will come hopefully. But I've given Malo Gusto a 6. Moving in to centre backs, I thought when I saw the lineup, I think a lot of you seeing Tosin back in there, partnering up with Trev, was a slight worry. But I have to say, Trev, I thought he was decent, not brilliant, not amazing, not world beater performance, but he was solid. He was sniffing out the danger. He was controlling the back line. He was moving the ball quickly through the lines. It's what I want to see. He played with a bit more confidence. He didn't panic me in any moment. Giving him a 6.5. Like I said, solid performance. And I've done the same with Tosin. I was worried. Seeing Tosin in the lineup. He has been terrible every single time he's come into the squad. He'd not been in for a little while. I thought Hato has been probably our best player in like the last 3-4 games. So I was a little bit disappointed not to see him in the starting lineup. And I probably would have felt a bit more confident. But Tosin, fair play to him. Like he was there for the aerial duels, right? So when the long balls are coming in, when the crosses are coming in, he was there. He was always in the way. He wasn't doing anything silly or making any silly mistakes. And he was solid. You know, a solid 6.5, I think, was fair for Tosin. Cucurella, not his best game, not his worst game. Defensively, brilliant. Little bit, it lacked the thrust that he would normally produce in the attack. He wasn't really that involved in the attack. But again, like I said, the first 45 was our best 45. After that, the second half was pretty much going into a defensive display for us. Like we had to see that game out. So that's probably why we saw a little bit less in the attack in front. But 6, again, not amazing, not great, but just above average for me. Moises Caicedo, again, for me, he's a great player. I absolutely love Caicedo, and I'd have him in any team on the planet. But he has this, I don't know, over-eagerness. Like, he give away silly fouls in dangerous positions. He gets himself booked. Now, luckily, he managed to control it, and he didn't get himself sent off in this game. But he toes that line, right? He's on the line of just going overboard and completely just ruining the whole game for us. But what he does provide, he provides the engine, he provides the challenges, he's making those last-ditch tackles, those interceptions, he's progressing the play, he's everything you want in a midfielder. He just needs to maybe calm it down in certain situations. But like I said, 6, solid performance for me. Romeo Lavia, once again, he shows for me that he's so press resistant. It doesn't matter where you give this guy the ball or how many players he's got around him, he gets through it every single time. Every single time. He's calm, he's composed, he's making the right decisions. My biggest thing with Lavia, and it's why he's probably not got a little bit higher in this game, because I did think he was one of the better players on the pitch against Leeds, he didn't manage a 90. And I look at him and I do, are you ever going to manage a 90 minutes? Are we ever going to see you see a game out? And that is my only concern with him. He gets leggy very quickly. He gets tired. And of course, that could be down to his not playing enough football. But when we need engines, when we need players to be producing in top performances, especially in that second half when we're getting pegged back a little bit, you want him on the pitch, but he's just doesn't stay on for long enough for me. So solid 6, good performance. Just need him to build up that fitness to get a bit more sharper. Enzo Fernandez for me was my man of the match. I was leaning on a 7.5, but I've given Sanchez a 7.5, so I can't give Enzo a 7.5. Giving him an 8. He gets the goal, gets the winning goal, and he obviously under Rosignol, he had the ban. He said what he said over international break and didn't paint himself in the best of lights. What he did against Leeds is he did all the ugly stuff, the extra running, the big challenges, the galvanising the players, the getting the goal that put us into the final. This is the things that I want from Enzo. Like, I'm not expecting him to dribble past 10, 15, 10 players all the time and bang in top bins all the time. I want him to be pragmatic. I want him to be solid. I want him to galvanise the players, and I want him to pop up with important goals or important assists. And against Leeds, it was for the important goal, and he done it for Callum. He joked about it in the press conference. He always seems to be at the back post, and Enzo does love that late run to the back post. He does score quite a few goals with it. Did it against Man City for Callum. So for me, I thought he was our best player on the pitch against Leeds. Moving into the left wing, Garnacho, not terrible, not great either. Nothing to write home. He looked a little bit more confident. He looked like he wanted to take on players. He just has no 1v1 capability. He needs someone to coach his 1v1 because it is dreadful. The amount of times he's getting to the edge of the box, he's looking to take on his defender. He'll either pass it across because he's not confident, or he just runs into the player or falls over, which he's doing quite a bit recently. So not great. I need better from him. We all need better from him. Middle of the ground, 5 for me. Moving on to the right-hand side, Pedro Neto. One of his better performances. Still not great because of his, he gets the assist for Enzo Fernandez's goal, which is what we want, right? We want him to add that extra attacking input. He has worked his socks off, right? Like I said, we've been talking about managers recently and what managers may come in to Chelsea and what you can expect from some of these players. And we actually did a great video, me, Stamford Sink, and Talking Chelsea over on the Stamford Sink's channel, talking about the potential managers coming in. It was a great chat with the lads, so definitely go over to his channel and check that out. But one of the things you get with Pedro Neto is he is a workhorse, and we talk about it all the time. He works his socks off, and when we went to that defensive side of the game yesterday, he was very important in closing the game down and just creating that outlet as well. The amount of balls that were going over the top, he was then running onto to create something out of nothing. And we needed that. We needed to stretch the pitch with Leeds, especially when they were coming onto us. So, look, good performance. Still want more from him, 6.5. Up front, I thought João Pedro was solid. I thought he was linking up well. I thought he was getting involved, getting stuck in. There was a situation about, I want to say around the halfway line, where he does something a little bit silly with the ball. He gets caught out. Leeds turn it over. They're running at the box. He is sprinting all the way back, wins the ball back, and then is sprinting up the other end of the pitch to try and get on the cross. This is what I want from my striker. You can lose it, whatever. You work hard to win it back. And when you do win it back, you make sure you get your ass in that box. Because where do we want you? In the place where you can score goals. It was unlucky he didn't manage to get on the score sheet because I think his performance did deserve a goal. But I'd love João Pedro. I love watching him. I think he has got great ability on the ball, and I think going into next season, he's going to get to the next level. I think he's going to take his game to the next level, and we could see an even better João Pedro next season. A solid 7 for me. Moving into the subs, as I said, I'm not doing the lap. Cole Palmer, come on around the 70th minute. He done okay. He didn't really affect the game that much, but again, he came on in a time where we are in a defensive phase, where we are trying to see the game out, not exactly like Callum's instructions are to see the game out. It's just the way the game was going. We were under the cosh a little bit. Leeds were pegging us, and he's coming on not really being able to create anything because we're not really having many attacking opportunities in that second half. So it wasn't the best time for him to show anything for himself. But what he did do is he did get himself stuck in. He did get himself back and, he made some important challenges to stop Leeds from progressing forward. So not terrible, but it's about an average performance, but not much I really expected him to do when we're in that phase. So a 5.5 for me. And again, Andre Santos coming on in a time where we need a little bit more defensive solidity. He's replacing Romeo Lavia, whose engine is cooked. He can't manage the full game. And he's come on and he's slotted in and he's done exactly the same job. He helps us progress the ball out from the back. He's breaking up play. He's providing an attacking outlet and he runs and runs and runs. He's, similar to Lavia, but can stay fit. And that's what we want. A nice solid 6. Right, that is my player ratings, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you disagree. Heck, even drop your own rankings in and let's discuss it in the comments. But we have been presented with another spectacular opportunity to gain some silverware in what was looking to be a very, very dark season. A very dark back to Potter era, like I said before. We are not the Chelsea of old. They are not the City of old. They can be got at. We can take it to them. It all depends what Chelsea is going to turn up. But like I said at the start, I'll always back us in a one-off game. Always. When we're the underdogs, that is when we shine the best. And we've got an opportunity. Let's win the FA Cup. But for now, guys, that is all from me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.